lovely listeners. Welcome back to another episode of My Sister's TBR. I'm Stacey, and with my co-host Rebecca, we discuss our past, current, and future reads.
We're thrilled to have you join us as we dive into our holiday reads. So get ready for heartwarming tales, festive magic, and our top picks to curl up with during this joyous season.
Grab a cup of hot chocolate, settle in, and let's unwrap the magic together. So, this episode, we are going to be talking about all of our holiday reads.
Now that we're past Christmas and we're just kind of out of the holiday spirit now, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Well, I have to delay and I sort of have to try to hold on to all my Christmas spirit because COVID is sort of taken over our Christmas. And so we're doing that all in a couple weeks. So,
yeah,
I have to try to hold on to it.
What better way than to talk about our Christmas reads?
Mm-hmm.
So, I know last episode we did talk about how our last episode was our last episode virtually. Here we are again. Still virtually.
Yeah, unfortunately. But like I said, illness just sort of took over during the holiday and threw a big old wrench in all of our plans. But the next episode, we will be together.
The next two
we will be together.
Whoop whoop.
Oh, so exciting.
Yay. But yeah, one more to get through.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
Have we done an episode since we did our 1K giveaway on Instagram?
No, we have not.
Oh. So our goal was to hit the 1,000 followers by the end of the year. And we did well before the end of the year, which was really exciting. So we did do a 1,000 follower giveaway. And we had quite a bit of interaction on that post. It was great.
That was our most yet, I think.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, you guys blew that out of the park.
Thank you so much.
I can't even see how many comments we had on it, but we had 98 likes. And that wasn't even part of the contest.
Yeah, just rules. The comments.
So, I think the comments were up over 200 the last
281.
Wow, so almost 300.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Awesome.
If you go to our Instagram at My Sister's TBR, the 1K giveaway is just there, and you can check it, see who the winner was. So we're looking forward to doing more giveaways in the future now that we've got the process down pat. I guess the next one maybe we'll do a 1.5.
Maybe.
That's kind of that might be soon, but
yeah.
I like giving things away.
I know.
And every giveaway now is going to have one of our embroidered beanies, which are so comfortable.
They're so cute. I love mine. In my romanticy era.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess we should get into our books.
Yay! I finally had a month where I didn't read only 2 books.
Milestone.
It's only 3, but hey, it's one more than what I'm used to.
I'm surprised that you managed to get more done than just the featured read because you had a lot of traveling, a lot of visiting.
Yeah.
So.
But
so it's awesome.
My main reading was done before I even traveled / during my travels, right? So
yeah.
I only just finished the featured read yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Because, I only had 10% left, so I was putting it off. And then I realized that I put it off for too long. So I had to cram that in yesterday.
That is very us.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Well, that's last month's book club book was Iron Flame.
Mm-hmm.
And I will talk about this a bit more when we get into it, but I was right down to the last minute. I was during the book club video chat finding out the ending on camera.
Okay,
so that was
real
fun for them to experience. Yeah, my reaction to what was happening. So, but I'll talk about that more when we get into our books.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about before we talk about our books?
No, I don't think so.
No? Okay.
Nope. But I feel like you read more books than I did this month, so you should start.
Okay. Well, maybe what I'll do is I will start with the 2 books that I finished at the end of November.
Fair. Okay.
Because I finished those after we recorded November's episode.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously, the first one was Iron Flame. I just talked about it. So this was book 2 of Fourth Wing, which everybody knows about by now.
Amazing.
I won't read the description again. Like we've said, we don't really like, giving those spoilers to anybody that doesn't like reading descriptions.
Yeah. Yes.
But it is a fantasy romance, obviously. There's dragons. Nobody should ever need any more reason to read a fantasy book.
That's it. Right there.
There's dragons.
That's it.
Yeah. It was a big, 884 pages.
So is Fourth Wing also almost 800? Because they look very similar in size.
I have them right here. My 2 special editions.
Beautiful.
Which I'm so proud of.
Beautiful.
They are very beautiful. So, Fourth Wing. Now, this one is with the other chapters in Xaden's point of view. So now this one is 518 pages.
Dang.
Yeah, so it's still so Iron Flame was like a whole additional book. Like how we usually compare books to being, the 300 pages is what we typically,
Yep. So this is like 2 books in one.
Yeah. So I think Goodreads is lying. It's not 884 pages. Goodreads, it's 623 pages.
What?
So who can we trust if we can't trust Goodreads?
I don't trust Goodreads anymore. I feel lied to.
Yeah. So anyways, Iron Flame was great. I rated it a 4 versus Fourth Wing being a 5.
Oh. Interesting.
Yep, I had a very difficult time getting into this one. And
now,
I know...
Yeah. It was immediately after Manacled.
Yes.
So, I don't want anybody to think here that Iron Flame is, not good.
Yeah, don't just assume that is not a good book, because it is.
Yeah.
It's just I was in a very dark place after Manacled. And I still don't feel like I'm through it. Like, I may just go back and reread it again. I'm still in the process of binding it myself. So once that's done, I'm just going back to it. It's going to be one of those books that's going to be a annual read for me, I think.
Yeah.
Because it was so, so good. Anyways, Iron Flame.
We're not here talking about Manacled.
I could, though. My whole life I could just devote to Manacled at this point. So Iron Flame, I did find a little bit slower than what Fourth Wing was. I feel like there was a lot that they covered in Iron Flame that probably could have been broke up into its own novel. Yeah, it was... It's hard to obviously say without spoilers, so I won't, but it was still really great. The dynamic between all the characters was phenomenal. There were obviously the really big WTF moments and twists and stuff. You haven't read it yet, right?
I haven't. I've been waiting. Okay. It's just on my shelf at home.
So when you do read it, we will have to do more of a in-depth discussion, because it really deserves more talk than just me saying, "Oh yeah, it was really good."
Also, oh
my god, what?
Yeah. Do you not know what I'm talking about right now? You're supposed to be able to read my mind.
Listen, I have COVID, so it's fuzzy.
Rebecca Yaros made a TikTok with just saying the number 3 on the whiteboard.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I think I shared that to our story. Yes. So she is in the process of plotting out book number 3.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I love it. I can't wait. This is definitely up there on my like favorite series so far, and there's only 2 books. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous.
Why?
With how this okay, my reaction to the ending of Fourth Wing, you know how that was like such a huge that was tame compared to the cliffhanger of Iron Flame.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I had to read this or like, find it out on video with the book club. And I just could not process what I was reading.
Oh my God.
So anyways, yeah, it's a doozy. And there's so many like theories, conspiracy theories going around about. Them. Oh, yeah. You really should have been there for the book club. I need to start recording the book club meetings because that was such a good one. We were like talking about all the different theories that were going around and what we thought was happening with all the characters. Anyways, really good. 4 stars, like I said. It was first published in November. I don't think I said that. Yeah, good stuff.
So I've been rewatching Game of Thrones. Just watching Daenerys like get on her dragons, and like that just I'm like sat there. I'm like, like I just feel like I'm just.
I was not made for this world. I was made for that world.
Yeah, riding dragons.
Where's my dragon?
Where's our dragons? Oh God, so good, so good.
Yeah,
so good. Okay, what was your next read?
Yeah, my next read I finished in November. You Were Meant for Me by Kate Nolan. So it's number 10 in the series. I didn't realize that, but it was like all the novels are standalones. Okay. They're of different people in like the family, town. I don't know. I didn't really care much to go back and check out the other ones.
So what made you pick this one instead of the other 9?
I don't know why, but one day as I was scrolling down through the Facebook groups, the book groups that I'm in, there was a post asking for recommendations on accidental pregnancy books. And I was like, okay, it's been a while since I've read a good, like, oh my God, I'm pregnant, what are we going to do? So I was going down through some of the comments, and this one was mentioned often. So I was like, it's only how many pages? It doesn't even show me how many pages it was on Goodreads. I am soon giving Goodreads the friggin' boot. 186 pages.
Oh, she's nice and short.
Yeah, so that was another reason why I grabbed it, because it was a short book. Why not? Okay. I'll read out the description. Keep in mind, I rated it 2. An accidental pregnancy romance for Wishful's most eligible bachelor. I guess Wishful is the town, maybe?
Okay, cute.
Maybe? Yeah. Just a fling, she said. Tess Payton wanted to do something fun and reckless and wholly out of character. A steamy weekend with a Scotsman seemed like a plan. When her Scotsman turned out to be a good southern boy, that's a minor deviation. Then one night turns to 2, 2 turns to more, and suddenly she knows she's in way over her head. This is why one should always stick to the plan. Bachelor for life, he said. But that was before all of Mitch Campbell's friends, cousins, and even his little sister started pairing off like someone was building an ark. No wonder he fell, and fell hard. For his no attachments, no last names, European fling. And just when he's ready to tell the woman of his dreams that he wants to change that arrangement, she disappears, leaving him with no means of tracking her down and a big ol' hole in his heart. And then fate stepped in. Because guess what? The guy Tess ran out on in Edinburgh shows up at a family dinner. He's her dad's new wife's brother's son. What does that make them? It makes them on again, according to Mitch, and the explosive chemistry between them. Tess feels it too, along with a side of awkward. continued uncertainty, and some kind of stomach virus that seems to bother her most in the mornings. ...
Oh dear. Also, the fact that that's dual POV, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like it. It really does seem like a great book. Like, it has the comedy, it has, I guess the accidental pregnancy trope.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, like, it just, something about it. Okay, I think I need to clarify. The reason why I'm kind of confused about this one is because I remember reading it, but I don't remember why I was so harsh with my review. So my brain is a little, like, foggy.
Dang.
Oh, I remember. The miscommunication trope is massive in this book.
Here we are. Why. Of course.
Yes, because she keeps, like, running instead of talking about things. That's why I rated it so low.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
It was so frustrating for me to read this book because of that.
Yeah.
Like, you are an adult. Use your words.
Act your age.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and the the ending had me literally rolling my eyes. Are you ever going to read this book?
No.
No? Okay. Listeners, if any of you are going to read this book, mute me for about 30 seconds. The very ending, she is in labor and they get married in the hospital room as she is in labor. Tell me, in what fucking universe am I going to be like, oh yeah, I'm in active labor right now, but yeah, let's bring somebody in and let's say our vows and get married before the baby shows up.
What is the purpose of that?
I mean, no disrespect for Kate Nolan, like, maybe her other books are wonderful, but that just sent me over the edge.
Especially, like, you've given birth twice now.
Yeah.
So you know.
Oh, no, like, there ain't no way that would ever happen. At that point, when I am in active labor and, I am angry.
Yeah.
I have no bone in my body that wants to be romantic and get married right now. I just want this out of me.
What? Just wait the extra couple of hours.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, that's what sent me over the edge, and it was a 2-star.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood.
Oh God. Now I know why I just blocked it out of my memory, because
you just wanted that gone.
Yeah. Okay. What did you read? Give me one. Just any.
Okay. So, my first one for this month was Christmas Cupid. So I know you read this as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we were talking about this during our last episode, because you were currently reading it last episode.
I think we had very different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. So, Christmas Cupid by Ilsa Madden Mills. But it's 147 pages. It's a Christmas romance novella. It's also like a sports romance. So that's why I expected you to like really like it. Yeah. Dual point of view. He is like a big hockey player. Enemies to romance. Whoa. Enemies to lovers.
Oh, yeah.
One bed trope, like
checked off a lot of boxes.
Yeah, right? So I really did enjoy it, honestly. I rated it 4 stars. I feel like I'm a little bit too giving with my 4 stars, because like if I were to compare this to like one of my ACOTAR 4 stars or my 4th, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, but I need like 2 different spectrums, where it's like romantasy is one spectrum, and then everything else is another spectrum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Yeah, my 4-star, even my 3-star fantasy books hold different than what my 4 and 3-star romance books hold.
Yep.
That's
Okay.
interesting.
We need to create a new
rating system. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get on that.
Yeah. Dear Sneaky Santa, I'd like to have a word about your sense of humor. Was it really necessary to stick me, a professional hockey player nursing an injury and avoiding the media, in an isolated cabin with a bratty, boot-designing princess who seems to have made it her mission to despise me? I mean, come on, what did I ever do to you? And let's talk about our first encounter. Was it your intention for her to barge in on me while I was enjoying a soak in the tub? It wasn't exactly my finest moment, and I'm sure she didn't appreciate the view of my massive body floundering around as I tried to grab a towel. I would have. Yeah. What woman would not appreciate that? Let's be honest. Now I'm stuck with her thanks to a mutual acquaintance in the middle of a snow blizzard, navigating through bear attacks, sketchy neighbors, and a whole lot of tension. I had plans, Santa, plans to escape to Cabo and forget about the world, not to be trapped with a woman who thinks I'm unworthy of her time just because she can't stand hockey players. Okay. Oh, and speaking of our delightful Iris, she's stingier with her food than Scrooge was with his pennies. I'm not asking for a feast, but a guy's got to eat. And could you possibly turn her yippy dog into a reindeer or something? It would certainly add to the Christmas spirit and save my eardrums. I'm trying to rediscover the meaning of Christmas, and you throw me into this chaos? Is this some kind of test, or are you just having a jolly laugh up there in the North Pole? So here's my Christmas wish, Santa. Sprinkle a bit of your magic and either get me out of here or be a Cupid and ignite a fiery, undeniable passion between us, because right now, this scenario is frostier than a snowman. So, I thought this was really cute. Like, she was a little bit annoying. Like, I know we touched on this last episode. But I was able to look past that. I don't know. Maybe I was just like in a really good mood while I was reading this.
Maybe.
But it was like, I don't know. I just like those tropes. I just eat it up. I love it. So it wasn't really like an insta love. Like, I'm not really big into insta loves, but every now and then I like to read them just to, quick, nice read, get right to the point. But it was still quick, obviously, because they were only there for like not very long.
Yeah.
But like the
like
build up to
4
that,
days or something.
Yeah, like that's not very much time at all. But I guess when you know, who knows? I don't know. But like the build up to it was still really good. To the like, I got giddy when like.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Yeah.
I found that like, because I've never read anything by this Ilsa Madden Mills before, but she's also a really good writer in the sense of like giving a lot of like character to her.
Oh yeah,
her people and like the humor and stuff like that. Like, I actually really enjoyed it.
I like the banter between them.
Yeah, right. Like the banter and like the jokes. Like, I don't know. I thought it was really good. And then with her, like how the way that she would talk to her dog, like it was almost like they could like, I don't know. It was like kind of weird at first, but
I think that's one part that sort of made me kind of weird about it was how human like, I don't know, I guess the dog was, or the intuition that the dog had. Like, to me, having 2 dogs, it just felt like it took me out of it a little bit, because there was no way my dogs were reacting like that in some of those scenarios. Like, I know one of my dogs is a lunatic, but I don't know. I rated it 3 stars after, so it wasn't terrible.
Yeah, I feel like I would change my rating to 3 stars, and like that's not like again, like I said, like I'm literally just comparing it now to my other 4 stars, and it's like, it's not up
now
there.
that the high is sort of down a little. Yeah,
Yeah, but like
I find that I rate things kind of high
in the moment
as soon as I'm done reading it, because I'm just like, wow, like that was such a... But then after, like, I start thinking about different things, and you know, it starts to settle a little. I'm just like, maybe it was like a 3.5, not a
yeah,
4. Right?
yeah, yeah. As it like sinks in, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like the guy. I mean, I was sold right away. Like he was 6'5", very big build, hockey
Mm-hmm.
player, you know, and like he was
And
possessive.
injured.
He was possessive and rude and demanding and intimidating. Like I don't know. I would actually no. I like my red flags even in this. If I was just going to say
Yeah.
if I met this person in real life, would I even like him?
Yeah.
Who am I trying to kid here? God. But
Yeah, the
yeah.
red flags. I don't know who I said this to the other day. I don't have a clue. Was it you, maybe? That the red flags aren't red, they're just pink.
I don't know. I don't know if that was me or not. I don't
I don't know
remember.
who I would have said that to.
Yeah, I don't know, but overall it was a cute, like very very easy read. Super short.
Yeah. I just
Yeah.
found her very annoying. Like, I had a really hard time with her.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe because I am so far in the opposite direction of, like,
Yeah.
her personality and her character
Yeah.
that I was just...
Yeah.
I don't know. I just didn't like her.
No, I can see that. I know like last episode you were saying how like why would she go out in a blizzard with like designer knee-high
Her boot, and then just leave it
in the
walk back
snow.
in without a boot.
Yeah, especially when they're knee-high boots like that.
I mean, shock maybe. I don't know. I just it took me out of the moment.
Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah, I mean, I still rated it 3, so it's not terrible.
It was still a cute read. What was your next read?
Okay. If the Fates Allow by Rainbow Rowell. This was a very short story. It was only 38 pages. Romance, Christmas short story. And I rated it 4 stars. I did really enjoy this one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It might give some people some PTSD from 2020, but maybe that's what gave me COVID. I read about COVID.
There we go.
It was the first book that I read that like really dove into how a lot of us felt during that first Christmas.
You brought it on.
Like, yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. After a long, lonely year, 2 people stumble toward each other in this holiday short story by the #1 New York Times bestseller and author of Eleanor and Park and Fangirl. Apparently, this is Fangirl 1.5, and I never read Fangirl, so so I don't know. Anyways, if somebody else knows, maybe they can let me know where the connection lies. Social distancing came easily to Regan. Maybe a little too easily. She's always liked people better from afar, but Regan doesn't want her grandpa to be alone for Christmas this year. He's already spent too much time on his own in 2020. So she heads back to her hometown with a dish of holiday Jell-O salad, hoping they can have a little normalcy, hoping it will be safe. She isn't expecting to run into the boy next door. Mason is all grown up now. He's considerate, he's funny, he doesn't mind how prickly Regan is. He maybe even likes it. And it makes Regan feel like her defenses are falling. She needs her defenses, doesn't she? In a time when 6 feet is close enough, how long can they keep their distance?
Oh.
It's so cute. So I related to her a lot in this like short story because I'm very much the type that I am totally okay with the social distancing.
Yep.
You know, like
further away the better.
Yeah, like I'm not really a sociable person, I guess. So to me, like I really felt a connection to Regan. And also like her reaction to everything with COVID. Like how she did the 2-week isolation before she went to spend Christmas with her grandfather. she was the only one in her family that was really taking these precautions seriously.
Dang.
They were all still getting together Christmas time, and she was just like, I don't want to risk it. Her grandpa was the same. So they had that like connection that they both took COVID seriously and, wanted to do the isolation and wanted to spend the Christmas together, because this was the first Christmas that that they were spending together without her grandmother. So she didn't want her grandpa to, be alone for Christmas.
Yeah.
So again, that brought back a lot of memories for us. Like, even as she's in her grandfather's house, she's talking about the picture frames on the walls of all the grandchildren that were really thick because of all the pictures growing up.
Yeah.
Nan used to do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, like there were so many little things that just really reminded me of Nan and Christmases with Nan and stuff like that, right? So reading that book, like, I did get a couple of highlights because I thought that you would appreciate. Okay, so like there's this one. Regan had spent every Christmas of her life sitting at one of the card tables set up in the living room, the kids' tables. This wasn't how she wanted to move up. God, even if this were a normal Christmas, the only reason there'd be more room at the big table was because Grandma was gone. Would they even have had Christmas here anymore? Or would Regan's parents take over? Would their extended family split into smaller units, all the aunts and uncles doing their own thing? Like, that's exactly what happened to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the part about the pictures, she framed every school photo the grandkids ever gave her, always leaving the old ones inside so that the pictures stacked up and made the backs hard to close. Regan's senior picture was sitting on a coffee table in the living room, and if you opened it up, her whole childhood would spring out.
That's
like
so
that,
cute. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, I won't read out all the highlights. I just thought those were so, like, fitting, right?
Yeah. I know. I wish I read it.
I mean, you still can, because it is like a pretty cute short story. Her relationship with Mason, like, is not a big book, so it doesn't like delve into it. It's just sort of implies, I guess. But it was such like a nice read, like how they were being separated, like by their porches or their, like he was over on his side, she was over on hers, and like they were. Oh, I just loved it. You definitely should still read it, I think.
I will. I mean, especially if it's only 40-something pages, so
yeah. 38.
Wow.
Just double check. Yeah, 38 pages. Yep. And again, like I said, it was really interesting just reading a book that dealt so heavily with COVID, because I haven't yet. That was the first one that I came across. And I know a lot of us are, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, have you ever read a book that indicated anything to do with COVID or social distancing or?
Nope. Nothing.
Nope. So it was a different experience, and yeah.
Yep, that's interesting. I like that.
Okay. So another Christmas book, Big Nick Energy.
I've been wanting to read this. Okay, I'm excited to hear your thoughts on it.
This is by Morgan Elizabeth. It's number 4 in the Seasons of Revenge. So this one is when Connor Finch insists his one-time Tinder match, Shay, comes to his dad's house for Thanksgiving with her 2 daughters. It's because he refuses to let them be alone on her first holiday post-divorce. But when she arrives at the Christmas tree farm and ranch he grew up on, she meets his father, the crazy tall-built golden retriever cowboy who tells her girls all about the magic of the stupid elf on the shelf. Of course, when she later corners him and tells him thanks a lot for nothing and that she's way too overwhelmed to have to deal with yet another responsibility, he feels terrible. So terrible, he finds himself driving 2 hours every night just to deliver an elf, move him about, and create some Christmas magic for her girls. But what happens when he decides meeting her the way he did was some kind of Christmas miracle, and he needs to convince Shay to give him a shot?
Okay, cute. Now that I'm thinking about it, I actually did start reading that, but only the first couple of pages. Like, she didn't even make it to the farm yet, or to the farm.
Right.
But I didn't continue reading it just because I don't know why. Because I had to finish my other books first. But yeah, I liked what I read already. Like the first couple of pages.
Oh, it was.
So I bet that like the rest of it must have been so good too.
I rated it 3 stars, and I'm not sure why I docked stars. But yeah, I do remember some. It was very fast, obviously, like very fast paced, and that's not normally my cup of tea. He was like such a great main character, though. Like he just, yeah,
Yeah.
but I went into this book thinking that there was going to be like a lot of like drama because she went on this date with his son, right?
Yeah.
But it's not. Like if you're not really into that whole angsty, like drama filled, it's not like that at all. It was very, very sweet. Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, what I read, I got to the part where the son is talking to the father and saying like, "Oh no, like we're literally just friends. Like we sat down, and like there was nothing there." So,
Yep. It's
cool. I like that.
It was so cute. But yeah, like the ending sort of like really felt rushed. It felt like I don't know. I just didn't like how it ended.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad ending. I'm not saying that. It was just,
Not
I would
for
have
you.
liked it to have gone a bit slower, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Maybe it was more of a 3.5. I won't say 3. It was 3.5.
We just like changing up our ratings here.
Yeah. You ask me again next week and it'll probably be back to 3. I
Yeah.
don't know. Anyways, go on. What's your next one?
My next one is, I talked about it on the last episode because it was my current read last episode. But this was If You Give a Grump a Holiday Wish List by Anne Einerson.
Okay.
Enerson. One of those.
We are so bad at names.
Yeah. So this again was a Christmas romance novella, so another short read. It was only 149 pages. This is why I only why I read 3 books, because 2 of those put together is equal to 1 book.
Pretty much.
Anyway, we won't talk about that. I still read 3 books. It's fine. Should I have trusted my tyrannical boss when he promised he'd get me home for the holidays? Absolutely not. He gassed up his private jet and decided he'd be joining me so we could close this massive deal before the new year. There are 3 conditions to him coming home with me. My family can't know that he's my boss. See note above about him being a tyrant. 2, I will absolutely be getting a big fat raise. And 3, he has to help me with my holiday wish list. What's worse than my boss stealing Christmas? Him pretending to be my boyfriend. Since he's faking being in love with me, my mom put us together in my childhood bedroom with just 1 bed to share. When the mistletoe comes out, I can't help but wonder what would happen if my hot as coal boss and I were underneath. Jack Sinclair is nothing but determined to get everything he wants this Christmas, and it looks like I'm at the top of his list. So, I rated this... Oh, I also rated this a 4. I am a diehard fan of enemies to lovers, the 1 bed trope, like forced proximity. Ugh, yeah. It does not take much to please me. That's all I need. God. But he was like, so I know we talked about this last episode too, like he very much gave off Lucy vibes from the Knock 'Em Out
Things
series.
We Left Behind?
Yes, thank you. Like he was very controlling, demanding, like everybody in the office like feared him, like basically held their breath whenever he was like walking past. Like he just radiated power.
Yeah.
I love that. But yeah, it was like a very quick and easy read, honestly. She like gives him a heads up for like a whole year that she's gonna take this time off to go home with her family, but yet still like he's like, oh no, like no, you're not allowed to go home. So then he ends up following her home, and like they're working on like their business deal or whatever is going on, but like he full on used that as an excuse, like because at the very beginning of the book it goes back and forth between both of their point of views, and he's like, oh no, like he sees on her wish list that's on her desk that she wants to be kissed under a mistletoe. Right? So he's looking at that, he's like, no one else is doing that, like, you know? So at this point, she was working for him for 3 years, and just, I guess, like, the tension was just built up so much. Very, very good. Like, that build up until, like, something happens, it was good.
Yeah.
It was really good.
It kind of reminded me of, not the Christmas side of it all, but By a Thread by Lucy Score.
Oh.
You would really like that.
You've told me this before.
Yeah. It's another, like, workplace. Yeah. But you need to read that one.
Yeah, maybe I'll pick that up now that I'm, like, while I'm in here at Chapters.
It should be on Kindle Unlimited.
True, maybe I'll do that, because I cannot go home with a bunch of books. Yeah, I love a good workplace romance. Like,
was there anything that you didn't like?
Like, she was a bit dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
I think, honestly, that was the only reason why I kind of docked it 1 star. Because, like, I'm not very dramatic, so I was, like, reading this and I was like, like, just suck it up. You know?
Yeah. It's funny because I get that a lot with books that I read where, like, such a small, like, inconvenience is, like, this big thing that breaks up the couple. I'm just like, what?
I think we're just good. We got good genes.
Yep. I think
That's
so.
all it is. But I don't know. It was really cute, like, the way that, like, their whole family just, like, welcomed him in, and, like, being forced into the one bed.
Yeah.
And, like you, oh, like,
it's really too bad that we're not recording the video.
I know. My hand movements.
You're so
the
expressive.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like this book. Just, it was, like, the perfect level of cuteness, spiciness, the build up, like, yeah, it was good. It was good. Yeah.
I'll put it on my list to read because I do still need some more, like, holiday books to keep that Christmas spirit going until the 6th when we can finally do our Christmas with the girls.
Well, that's a good one to do because it's nice and short, and it was, like, super quick and easy.
So you'll be, I don't know if you've seen what I've been marking as read on Goodreads. Have you?
No, I don't really go on Goodreads.
Okay. I live on it, which is unfortunate because now I'm going to have to change.
What? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know.
Because I can't trust it anymore.
Yeah.
So I listened to, I didn't read it. It was the audiobook of Milk and Honey.
Oh.
Yeah, Rupi Kaur.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't think about an audiobook for that.
It was actually narrated by her. So it just gave it that other level of...
I am obsessed with that.
Yeah. So, like, I had already obviously like read quite a bit of those poems beforehand. I mean, they're everywhere for one.
True.
But it was so interesting being able to hear, like, her words in her own voice.
Yeah, I bet.
Right? Some of it was still, like, kind of... I find some of her poems are a little on the, like, cringy side. Like, sometimes it sounds like you're reading, like, a 13-year-old's diary. Sometimes. Yeah. But then she makes up for it by, like, some really heavy ones.
Yep.
So...
Oh my God.
I'm definitely not going to shit on her at all because I rated it 4 stars.
I was just going to say, I'll throw hands through the screen right now if you say anything bad about Ruby.
No, I literally don't have anything bad to say other than just like just about a couple of them just sort of felt a little, I don't know, a little more on the mild, kind of cringy side. But like I said, she definitely makes up for it in other poems.
That poetry book is also, that's her first one. So a lot of those poems are like super, super old in that too, because I think she published that in 2014.
2014, yeah.
Okay. So like some of those poems are even older than 2014, right?
They could have been from a 13-year-old's diary.
Exactly. Right? So like some of them are probably...
I think I still have some papers here.
Shut the front door.
From things that you wrote.
Quit while you're ahead, Stacey.
You could be
Burn
the
it.
next Rupi Kaur.
But like, so I have 2 editions of Milk and Honey now. Because there was like a chapters had like a 20-year anniversary line of books that they published, and it was all like hardcovers and like these really cool covers, like the different colors. Anyway, so I bought this version of Milk and Honey, and it's super pretty. Like, it's pink, and like you can see like the outline of her, but it's in like a very cool artistic, I don't know what type of art it is. But anyway, and it's hardcover. It is absolutely beautiful. But I bought that because I'm going to say this right now, and I know people are going to judge me, but it's only for my poetry books that I do this for. I dog ear the pages. Okay? I know it's bad, but it's only for my poetry books because I like to mark which ones like stand out to me a lot. So so like my Milk and Honey book is almost all dog eared. The one that I have home. Like, not my hardcover, but my original
You almost need to dog ear the ones that you didn't like.
Yes. Because I've had that for, I don't know, like 4 years now, maybe 5 years. I have no idea how long I've had it, but I've had it for a while. And every big quote, I'm saying, you can see my bunny ears right now with my fingers. Quote unquote, big life event. So like any big breakup or any like life move, anything that like changes my life path, honestly, I think. I like to reread every single poem and see which one stands out to me then. Right? So when I first got it, I only had like 3 dog-eared. And then a couple of months later, if I, every breakup, whatever, so now 4 or 5 years later, they're literally almost all dog-eared. So I like going back and like looking at that and be like, man, like, that's cool.
It's almost like when you do a growth chart on the wall.
Yeah.
Instead, your growth chart is your dog-eared poetry book.
Yeah. But like literally if you look at it like from the top and you can see all the dog ears, like there's like, it's easily 80% are like dog-eared now. Like it's yeah. But she's so good. She toured actually 2 years ago, I think, or a year and a half ago. She toured.
Okay.
And if she does that again this year, I'm freaking going. On my...
Noted.
I'm going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think that would be...
Yeah, I bet that would be lovely.
So there's a TikTok floating around of, like, when she was touring. And she was reading this poem, and I'm not going to read the whole thing out now. So she says, I'm not a hotel room, I am home. I am not the whiskey you want, I am the water you need. Before she even got to the part where she says, I am the water you need, like, somebody in the crowd, like, screams that out. And, like, she loved that. Like, I just want to be there. God.
I think my favorite one out of that book was how you love yourself is how you teach others to love you. Right?
How does one human... I mean, there's thousands of poets, I know that, but like...
Yeah, up that a lot more than 1,000.
Yeah, okay. But, you know what I'm saying? But like, how does a human make words like that?
Yeah. And like, this one. If you were born with the weakness to fall, you were born with the strength to rise. Like, that's so good.
God, she's so good.
Yeah.
I think this one honestly is my favorite though, like the one that I was just reading out.
Yeah.
But I'll read the rest of it now. I am not a hotel room, I am home. I am not the whiskey you want, I am the water you need. Don't come here with expectations and try to make a vacation out of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, girl. Okay. Anyway.
Oh, I could just sit here and just like keep reading out just poem after poem.
Yep. Good God.
So that was, I listened to that while I was making your hat when I was knitting your hat for you for Christmas.
Yay. I love that.
So it was very fitting.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. My absolute all-time favorite Christmas book.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah. Like, it was good enough that it's a contender for my top of the year.
Oh.
It may not make it to my actual top, but it's a good contender.
All right.
So this is Wreck My Plans by Gillian Meadows. It's 250 pages. A Christmas romance. It was actually just published December 1st. So it's a brand spanking new novel.
I guess that's why I haven't
yeah.
I haven't seen it around very much.
So it's like the tropes are kind of age gap. There's like a 10-year age difference between them. He's like brother's best friend. It's forced proximity, only one bed. And I guess you could kind of call it an insta-love, which again isn't normally my cup of tea, but this is excellently done. Okay. I'll read out the description before I just get all into it.
Yeah.
Lena's plans are simple. Surprise her family for Christmas. Don't tell them she lost her job. And most importantly, spend the week relaxing with the people she cares about. But when she arrives in Juniper, she discovers she's not the only unexpected guest this year. Her brother's best friend is back after disappearing 3 years ago without a word. Gavin has the kind of charm Lena has always been drawn to, but even though she's dying to question him about why he left, he's the kind of temptation she needs to stay far away from. Gavin didn't see this coming. His job is to design blueprints and build strategies for dealing with the unexpected, but he didn't have a strategy for the possibility of seeing Lena again. He's been dreaming of her since he left, but giving into his feelings would risk the only home he's ever known. Now try to be friends again. Just friends. But as the pieces fall into place about why Gavin left, staying friends is the last thing on their minds, and all the plans they've made might end up completely wrecked. Wreck My Plans is a sweet and spicy age gap, brother's best friend's romance about finding yourself worthy of love. It features a quiet architect who only wears black, a sassy artist who's full of color, a small town of holiday fun, and enough swoon and steam to keep you toasty this winter.
Oh, enough said.
Yep. I rated this 5 stars. It was very easy.
How many pages?
250 pages.
Okay.
So it was a little on the longer side, but
still not bad.
No, not bad at all. It was a very easy read. I just kept going back to it and putting off our featured read to read this one. There was a part in the book where she says, "I'm pretty sure my brain takes a time out and fills with my favorite Lorelai and Rory banter from Gilmore Girls instead."
I love that.
So I loved the references to different things, right? Like it. I'm gonna see now what I had highlighted. So literally 5% into the book, when I'm pretty sure it's like when they both are there at her family's home and like he just walks in and so it's like only 5% into the novel. He says, "I'm desperate for anything at this point. Slap me, yell at me, grin at me, anything as long as I get to see her face while she does it." Okay. Another thing that I highlighted. So I believe this is with either her mother or her grandmother. "Sometimes we don't know where we're going until we get there. For now, there are only 2 things you need to do. You trust your gut," her gentle hand falls to my stomach, "to tell you if something's off. But you follow your heart," she lifts the same hand to pat my chest lovingly, "to where it wants to go." I swallow hard. What if it's all a jumbled mess and I can't tell what I want? "Then you let the people who love you help untangle it," Mama says. "Sometimes you ask your family, sometimes your friends, and then sometimes you trust the man you've fallen in love with to help you."
I just got goosebumps.
That was such good advice.
That is so sweet.
Yeah. This novel just had a lot of really great moments, and of course, like, neither of them want to like accept that they have like feelings for each other because of the conflicts that would arise then, because he's her brother's best friend and they work together, and so he's looking at her like, shit, this is my best friend's little sister. They aren't, like, I mean, they're still like, I think she's 30 something, he's 40 something, so it's high, it's not like a 19-year-old or anything like that, which another part too, your trauma isn't invalid because you think mine is bigger. Your hurt matters too.
Oh, I love that.
And yeah, like when she's trying to sort of like stuff her feelings down because they're not, like what happened to her isn't as bad as what happened to him, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I am so guilty of doing that myself. Like,
yeah, trauma is
just
trauma.
because something upset me is not as bad as what happened to you. So I need to stop feeling what I'm feeling and focus on you.
Yeah.
But no, whatever, like you said, trauma is trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, there's so much about this book that was just so, so good. And I really want you to read it because it was good.
Okay. I'll add it to the TBR.
It's got like a high review too. Like it's almost full 4 stars.
Yeah, I was just looking at that too. 3.97.
Yeah. Yep. 42% rated at 4 stars and 30% rated at 5 stars.
Dang. It sounds really wholesome. I like it.
Yeah. I just popped open Facebook while you were gone, and the first thing that showed up on my page was Nicholas Sparks, his top 9 posts. We were there.
No freaking way.
Yeah.
I gotta go look at that right now.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that feels so good.
Honestly, peak moment for 2023. That.
Yeah.
That post. I still can't believe that happened. Like shut the front door. All right. Tell us about your next read.
So I read Resting Scrooge Face by Megan Quinn.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. I believe that was the free book that I picked for December.
I think you said that. Yep.
Yeah. It's 80 pages. Very short. Another Christmas romance, obviously. Resting Scrooge Face. It was decent. I rated it 3. I feel like I need to get away from reading the really short stories because I never feel like it's enough time logically for all this romance to be happening in such short amount of time, and I'm just like, oh, that doesn't sit right with me. He seems almost creepy, like that's where my brain goes. So I think I need to stop reading the short books. 2024, I'm going to do better. Okay, so the description. After a bad breakup, Nola wants nothing to do with Christmas, especially in her quaint hometown of Bright Harbor, Maine. Infuriatingly charming and cheery, Nola's surroundings only worsen her sour mood. To make matters worse, Caleb, the boy who broke her heart years ago, is all grown up and still living in town. While doing her best to avoid him, Nola bumps into the local mailman, who gives her a mysterious letter. And when she finds that the writer is a fellow Scrooge, she can't help but feel her spirit lifting. Nola writes back to her new pen pal, who, unbeknownst to Nola, is none other than Caleb. When Caleb gets a response hand-delivered by the mailman, he's intrigued by the mystery sender. A friendly correspondence develops and quickly turns flirtatious. Although Nola and Caleb claim they can't stand each other, they can't deny the simmering attraction that brought them together in the first place. Can these nameless pen pals write their own love story, or will they be too caught up with the ghost of their Christmases past to find a future together? It's pretty good. It was pretty good.
Okay.
It's just very fast-paced again.
Yeah.
Because of 80 pages.
I feel like for Insta loves, you gotta be, in a certain mood for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of really high reviews. It's obviously a me problem, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think I just needed to be in a better... But, I think there's something about Megan Quinn's writing that I don't necessarily enjoy as well.
Did you read...
A Not So Meet Cute.
Yeah.
And that one I rated at 3 star. Because, yeah, there were some... like miscommunication things, issues that I had with that one, and so I don't know.
Just not your cup
I don't
of
know
tea.
if I read any more of hers. I've got Not So Meet Cute, Resting Scrooge Face. Yeah, that looks to be it that I've read by her. She has a lot. She has 30 books. So maybe I just need to give her more of a chance.
True.
I'm not going to be too mean to her yet.
Don't want to write her off completely yet.
But overall, I mean, it was a pretty good like holiday read. Like my Scroogeness felt at home in the beginning.
Felt like you fit right in.
Yeah. It was a nice like progression though, because they do go from being like Scrooges and like, you know, ripping apart holiday traditions in their letters back and forth to actually enjoying it because of each other putting the other in a better mood, basically.
Cute.
So, yeah. And I did like, you know, their chemistry together. But again, like a lot of it was a miscommunication thing because she like really didn't like him based on how he broke up with her, basically.
Yeah.
But a lot of it could have just been talked about. So there's that again.
Yeah. Majority of these problems could be completely solved by just communicating.
Yep.
Yep.
But yeah, so those were my books other than the featured read, which, as I'm sure everybody has seen so far, all of my tabs and my underlines, I have some big feelings.
You got some thoughts going on there.
Yeah. Oh. The most unfortunate part of having like the physical book is my highlights. I have to actually go finding them instead of just bringing it up on my screen.
So, our featured read for this month was Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey.
Our girl, Tessa.
Oh, yeah. So, this was 358 pages, a Christmas romance, of course. Okay. So, Melody Gallard may be the daughter of music royalty, but her world is far from glamorous. She spends her days restoring old books and avoiding the limelight. One awkward tabloid photo was enough, thanks. But when a producer offers her a lot of money to reunite her mother's band on live TV, Mel begins to wonder if it's time to rattle the cage, shake up her quiet life, and see him again. The only other person who could wrangle the rock and roll divas. Pete Dawkins, the lead singer's son, is Melody's opposite. The camera loves him, he could charm the pants off of anyone, and his mom is not a potential cult leader. Still, they might have been best friends if not for the legendary feud that broke up the band. When they met as teenagers, Mel felt an instant spark, but it's nothing compared to the wild, intense attraction that builds as they embark on a madcap mission to convince their mothers to perform one last show. While dealing with rock star shenanigans, a 24-hour film crew, brawling Santas, and mobs of adoring fans, Mel starts to step out of her comfort zone. With Beat by her side, cheering her on, she's never felt so understood. But Christmas Eve is fast approaching, and a decades-old scandal is poised to wreck everything. The Steelbirds' reunion, their relationships with their mothers, and their newfound love. So, okay. We'll talk a little bit, but then we're gonna like literally nosedive right into spoilers. So,
yeah.
If anybody hasn't read this yet, probably just dip now. Yeah. But if you have no intention of reading this book, or if you have already read the book, you just stick around.
Yeah.
Stick around.
Lots of spoilers coming.
Yeah. Yeah, based on your tabs, yeah. What did you rate it?
I rated it 4. Probably closer to 4.5, to be honest.
Okay.
I really like this book. What did you rate it?
I rated it a 3, but like I need 2 different spectrums. We need to come up with a different rating system for the two different types of books that we like.
Mhm. Mhm. I
Because,
agree.
right, like me saying a 3 makes, like, it doesn't sound like it's a good book, but it is a good book. But again, like I was saying earlier, like I keep comparing my 4-star reads to my other bigger
Yeah.
4-star reads. I don't know. But I don't know why. I don't know what made me dock off like the 2 stars. Like maybe the miscommunication trope. I'm surprised that you
It did not phase me in the least.
okay. All right.
There are so many things that I don't normally like that are in this book, but for some reason, this book, I just loved everything about it.
It was really cute.
I know like a lot of people have issues with the third person.
But this was a different type of third person.
It was definitely more like, and I know there's a word for it. We talked about it before, and I
Yeah.
cannot for the life of me. I should really do some more digging into all of the literary terms if we're if we're actually
Yeah.
doing this. Um, but yeah, it's definitely more on a personal third person level.
Yeah.
I do know that people didn't really like the perspective of some of it. Um, like there's the very top review that I'm looking at right now. It was 1 star and they DNF'd it at 47%.
Wow.
Yeah, that's rough. I guess I can start with like what I didn't like about the book because I did bring it down to 4 star or 4.5. I'll solidify that a little better when we're finished talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Their names, melody was fine. Beat, I could not
Yeah, it's just a little bit weird.
get yeah.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like that. It sort of gave me like a weird feel.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody else rated it 2 star. Said this man's name was Beat, and I never got over it.
She understood. Or they understood.
Yeah. So I have noticed after reading a few of Tessa Bailey's novels that she does. Is it only third person? Because the few that I've read have all been third person.
Maybe that's her
Yeah.
style. But like
Yeah.
I did like though how it was like I said, like it's such a different, like I've read perspectives like that or like write like books like that from third person, but like this was different. It was like
Yeah.
more like each chapter was still kind of like dual point of view, but like not directly from their point of view, but from the narrator's point of view of their situation. So like like so I still went back and forth. So I did really like that. But I still kind of struggled still again with it being third person. So I think honestly that would be one of my full star docs.
Yeah.
Cause I do find it still takes me a bit of time to like I don't know, it's like I have to turn on different settings in my brain when I'm reading.
I went like the whole year reading just first person.
Mm-hmm.
So when I did get a third person, it was like a shock to the system.
Yeah,
Like
I would say.
it was taking me a lot longer to read them, but I have noticed now there were a couple other books that I read, whether it was last month or this month, that were in third person as well that I didn't struggle with as much. So I think I'm starting to get used to it again.
Yeah.
Which is all right. So maybe I need to like do one third person book per month to stay okay with it. There really wasn't much else that I didn't like about the book. I think she did a lot of it well. When it comes to the spicy time, she really dabbled into things that weren't your average. Like she sort of went out of the box a little on that.
Like how so? What do you mean?
So, like his interests, we'll say, like it's wasn't just a straightforward missionary, She added some spice, like some sprinkles, and really tossed it up a little. I liked that.
Yeah, like one thing that I highlighted, it was on page 67 in chapter 6. His thumb brushed over the tiny veins in her wrist. A little torture can be fun. So like that, when I read that, I was like buckled up. I'm freaking ready for this, like, because I knew
Yeah.
shit was gonna get a little bit, you know, different, a little bit
Yeah.
spicy, a little bit weird. Like, I was ready.
I think there was something that I highlighted as well. That was a nod to what was coming.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't highlight it with purple. Anyways.
But there were, yeah, like there was multiple different
Yeah.
little doorways, little tiny windows, little tiny peeks into like what he was gonna be into.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
I was like kind of surprised by the spice in a way. Now I know like she can get pretty nasty. Like you go back and read was it happened one summer?
I didn't even finish that.
I know. Did you get to the part when he takes her on the boat and shows her his sleeping quarters?
I don't
Did you
remember.
get to that?
I don't remember.
Gosh. Okay. Well, I can't even like Okay, well either way, she's good at writing some nice descriptive scenes. So all of the I don't know if you can see it. Not really. The pink and like darker pink ones
Yeah.
are all the like spicy or hinting towards spicy or romantic things.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh, there it is. The part that you just said, I had that highlighted as well. Literally, the next page says, he says, "No boyfriend to walk you home, Melody."
I
She
highlighted
says,
that too.
"No." He swallowed. "Stop reading into every little movement he makes." I love her internal dialogue.
Same.
Oh, right from the very first page, like I latched onto her. I was just like, she is my type of people.
Yeah.
She was awkward and funny.
Yeah.
And her reaction to, just like everything, her reaction to, like the attention that she was getting, that awkward, like, I don't really know what to do with myself, so I'm going to cover it up with comedy. Like, that is me. I do that.
Oh, I love that so much. Yeah, I want to be her friend.
Yeah, like the first, in the prologue, she needed to think of something interesting to say. I was going to go with clear rubber bands, but teal felt more punk rock. Sure, maybe she could cap that statement off with some finger guns and really drive home the fact that he'd gotten all the cool rock royalty jeans. Oh god, her feet were sweating now. Her sandals were going to squeak when she walked. I just loved everything that, like, her entire brain.
Yeah.
I was just so smitten with her.
And at the end of it, like when she, I think it's when she runs out after Beat, and like she is faced with all of the crowd outside, and she just like puts up her peace sign.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
I love her so much.
Oh, God. Yeah, Spice was amazing. The romance. But like during their fight, when his biological father's there at the Today Show.
Yeah.
And he completely.
Oh, that's what docked the star.
Yeah, like if he just communicated that with her, because like he already told her about the blackmailing.
Yeah.
So he should have just been like, he just should have called her immediately after that happened, or just not say all those horrible things. Like, I understand his point of view and wanting to shelter her from that, knowing that he was going to blackmail her then instead. But like, I don't know, just communicate. And like she kept saying that too. She was like, man, like just we could have went through this together. Like, you could have just told me.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I'm glad that she acknowledged that in the novel. Like, as she was writing that, she knew that was so off character for Beat and Melody. Like, they seem to be so together, so in sync, so like, you know, this is our problem. Like, that sort of, right? So for him to just shut her out entirely like that. Like, yeah, I like how Tessa then wrote about, like that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah. But, like,
So,
I also, like, I get it. Like, this man's has been dealing with that for, like, 5 years. So he's, like, traumatized now. But,
yeah.
like, the way that he felt about Melody, like, he shouldn't have even, like, yeah.
I have 2 sections that I tabbed that made me, like, angry, I guess, or, like, just upset or icky, like that. Like, literally only 2 spots. One was that whole thing with Fletcher, right?
Yep.
And how he just, like, wrote Melody off like Beat did. So I tabbed that as my,
Ugh.
I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Orange is, I guess, just don't like.
Mhm.
The
Ugh.
other thing was back on page 106 when I think it's the first time she goes with Beat to what was it? Some sort of, like, event, gala or something.
Yeah, the gala.
Anyways, there was that blonde man that was outside, offered her his arm, said, "May I escort you in? My date has gotten lost in the wilds of the women's bathroom." He winked at her. Platonic date. Melody
Yeah.
really didn't want to link arms with this man. Not after he'd winked and emphasized the word platonic. Yuck.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Like,
Those were the only 2 things that I really,
yeah, because I don't know what the purpose of putting that into the story was.
I thought he was going to have a bit of a bigger...
Yeah. Or at least,
Maybe
like...
he was just introduced to show Beat's possessive side, maybe.
True.
Yeah,
True.
because Beat really didn't respond well to him getting all close to Melody. Rick, that was his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
I was momentarily afraid that that Buddy, what's his face, Fletcher, was going to end up being both.
Okay. I was thinking the exact same thing.
Okay, I'm glad I wasn't the
Yes.
only one that had that, like, terrifying thought that this was where it was going.
Thank you, Tessa Bailey, for not ruining this for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I literally, when they were talking about, like, that they were, like, sharing Fletcher, I was like...
I had some severe PTSD flashbacks to the Mortal Instruments series, City of Bones. Like, I just, like, instantly reverted back to, like, my 13, 14-year-old self. And it just put me right back in there. I just did not like it.
Oh, God. Yeah, like,
So I'm glad that she didn't do that.
Too much was already done. Too much was already done at that point. Like, we can't go back from that.
No. But yeah, I guess that's why I took off a star, was just because there were a couple things that, like, Beat did to upset Melody that could have just been talked about. Like, when he, like, that whole thing was it in the hallway when she was staying at his place? Yeah, when he tells her to, like, not let him finish.
Oh, yeah.
And she, like, thinks of it as, like, rejection.
Yeah.
And she just, like, goes back into her room, closes the door in his face, and it's just, like, and he's trying, like, he's saying, like, Mel, like, let me in. And she said, no, it's okay. Everything is fine. I'm just ready for bed. And he's like, everything isn't fine, Mel. She's like, it is, I promise. And, like, I just feel like that was so unnecessary of him to upset her like that when he could have just been more straightforward.
Yeah, like, communication. He should have just fully laid everything out on like, if he obviously knew that he had, what do you call that, a fetish? I don't know. Yeah?
Kinda. I think his was more, like, mental, like, emotional damage, though.
Yeah, true.
Because he seemed like he was okay afterwards.
True.
I feel like that might be spoilerish. But yeah, it would be if that was literally something that you actually enjoyed, not that you were keeping it from yourself because you think that you're too entitled already. Like, that to me was more of a mental thing for him than a fetish.
That is true. But, like, he knew going into having, like he knew going into that he did this. So
Yeah.
he should have just been upfront and was like, "Hey, so this is what happens.
Yeah.
Don't take it personally."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, could have saved so much. So communication, God.
Yeah. Oh, the one bed trope when is it when she's talking to her? Yeah, Trina. Oh my God, that's a whole other thing too that we got to talk about.
Yeah.
When she says we've got an extra room, and Melody says like only one. And she said, unfortunately, yes, it's a packed house. She could feel Beat's gaze on the crown of her head and slowly raised her eyes to meet it. Were his pupils larger than usual, or was it a trick of the lighting? Melody wasn't sure, nor was she sure what kind of night lay ahead of them. But odds were it was going to be interesting.
And that it was, girlfriend. That it was.
Yeah. I know I'm like all over the place with this, but I just remembered what was the funniest part of this book for you? Like, was there any part that actually made you like giggle or laugh or just?
There were a few, but I didn't like tab them or anything. But there were quite a few.
Yeah, there were a few. Yeah, for me too. Like, obviously, I mean, she's very comical anyways, but the part where she's playing whatever it was that she
Bach?
was in a league for.
Bach.
Yeah. She said, was everyone looking at her butt? They had to be. She looked at everyone's butts, even when she tried not to. What would make this crowd any different?
Yeah. Oh my God, she's so funny.
It was crazy to see the difference between Trina and Octavia.
Oh my God. Oh
like,
my God.
They were in this like rock band together, and you would have thought that they both would have been like Trina, but yeah. Octavia obviously like got her shit together or whatever. But it was just so funny seeing the absolute difference. And then when they got together at the end, seeing Octavia like kind of go back to that like hardcore like persona that she had was just, it was so awesome. I loved their dynamic, and as shitty as Trina was obviously as a person and a mother, but there were some parts where I was just I couldn't help but laugh at her and like kind of admire her.
Yeah.
Just in very small specific parts.
Yeah, not the overall.
Because she was still crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But honestly, when they got back together, I thought that was so wholesome. Like how they like Octavia and Trina were just like huddled in a corner, like still like, you know, like gone back to like their normal selves and like just chatting away or whatever they were doing, and like I just thought that was so wholesome.
I need to find the part when she shows up at Octavia's. It would be one of my green ones. Maybe this one. When they're there at Octavia's house now to tell her, like when Melody and Trina show up to tell Octavia about Fletcher. When her house staff, whoever it is, comes in and says, I'm afraid more guests have just joined or just arrived, Mrs. Dawkins. His mother's eyebrows knit together. Who? It's me, you old bitch, Trina said, sailing into the office. Before you ask, no, you're not dreaming. I actually still have the body of a 22-year-old. And then when she says, Jesus, Octavia, your home is the official museum of boring. Oh my God, just that dynamic between her and Octavia just had me roaring.
Yeah. I could like picture it so perfectly, like a movie. Like just
yeah.
Oh my God.
The way she calls her like old hag and stuff too is just,
but like they're the same age.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I honestly wouldn't be mad if Tessa did write another novel from their points of view back as the band.
That would
like,
be so
it would give
sick.
Such like Daisy Jones and the Six vibes. I
yes,
think. Just
it so
much more hardcore than what Daisy Jones and the Six would be.
Yep. Oh my God, that is so true.
I can see it like if Daisy Jones and the Six is Fleetwood Mac inspired.
Mm-hmm.
I could almost see Steelbirds being almost like Heart. That's the duo who does like Barracuda.
Okay, yeah, I'm not really
You know,
familiar. Like, I know Barracuda, but that's it.
that's just what I picture. Like, I don't know if I can send this picture to you, but this was exactly who I was picturing for both of them.
Oh.
How do I send it to you?
I can Google it. Oh. Oh my god, I can see that so perfectly.
Right? So that was kind of where my brain was going when I was reading their parts.
You know what? Yeah. That is so funny. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, so that's fun. So I would eat up a book if Tessa Bailey went back to when they were in a band together.
Come on, Tessa. Give us what we want.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. So the Nerd Daily did an interview with Tessa Bailey about Wreck the Halls.
Oh.
And they asked her if the movie were if the book were adapted to become a movie, which 3 songs would have been on the soundtrack? The Night We Met, and I don't know the other 2, I don't think. Addictions by Lucy Dacus and Mother Mother by Tracy Bonham. Mother Mother, I know. But that's so cute. I love that song.
Honestly, the main thing that I really liked throughout the whole book was beats and melodies, like connection, and how he just could not keep his eyes off of her.
Instantaneous, like when they were 16 and met at that like interview thing, the way that he just gravitated towards her, like she was the only thing in the room, and he just right over, can I hug you?
Like, and still to be
so hug me.
To still be so magnetic too, like how 15
Yeah.
years later, like that's
yeah,
so crazy, like that. Oh my god, it was so sweet.
It's like kind of unrealistic, but in a way, like it was still just like fate.
Yeah,
like it was obvious that they belonged together, like that sort of feeling.
Yeah.
Was there any character that like, I don't know, like who was your least favorite character?
Obviously Fletcher.
Yeah, I guess.
Obviously.
That's pretty obvious. Another question for you. Do you get the vibe that there's another book supposedly about Danielle and Joseph?
I was just gonna say, like, there's gotta be.
Like that, she seemed like very insistent on their little side story that to me it seemed like they must be characters in another book. I need to look up. Okay. Tessa Bailey, Danielle and Joseph, right?
Yeah. Because that was, oh my god, I love that. And then, like, when she found them in the closet.
Oh my god. Yeah. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of comments saying, like, how intrigued people were about Danielle and Joseph, how they want a book about them. So maybe there's not yet.
Well, the main thing we need, though, is a backstory on the Steelbirds. Because
100%.
Because even just, what is Beat's father's name? Not biological.
Reed or something like that? No, maybe not Reed. Dang it.
But I love him as a person. Like, he is so comical. Like, how he's just like, I don't know. I want to know more about him.
Rudy?
Yes. I want to know more about him. And honestly, like, that conversation that he had in the limo before they got out, and he was like, you know, like, I'm your father.
Yeah.
Like, you're my son.
Beat, his father said again. Yes. Rudy tapped an unlit cigar on his thigh, turning it over end by end. I just wanted to say, you're my boy, you know. I was there the day you were born. He ceased his nervous movements. You're still my son, right? I think I even, like, teared up a bit reading that part.
That was really sweet.
Yeah, you're the only father I need or want. In this case, a bond is stronger than blood. Huh.
Friggin' true dat.
Yep.
True dat.
Yep, I love it. It seems like there's quite a few people on my friends list that rated this pretty decent too. 3 people rated it 5-star. Both you and Ilsa rated it 3-star.
Yeah, when I was getting my hair done by her, she said that she wasn't a big fan.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I just took to this book and just devoured it. I loved it.
You took off running.
Yeah. There's somebody else that's in the book club, and on my Goodreads, Megan, she said, I was pleasantly surprised by the spice, but it wasn't that Christmassy, and I predicted the end. I still enjoyed this read, though. Yeah, I definitely did not get much Christmas vibes from this.
Yeah, like for how Christmassy that front cover looks.
Yeah.
Very deceiving.
I should have made note as I was reading it. I should have had another sticky color of all the like Christmas things that were mentioned, because I feel like it was only a handful of things.
Yeah, 100%. Like basically the main thing that made this considered a Christmas read is literally just the fact that it was based during the week before Christmas.
Yeah. And even then, you still don't get the regular, like, Christmas traditional, because they were so busy doing this live stream.
Yeah.
So. Oh, I just found. Okay. Wreck the Halls also has a fantastic set of secondary characters, and I just have to know, can we expect to see more of a certain producer and cameraman in the future? So Tessa came back and said, truthfully, Joseph and Danielle were supposed to get their own book, but the storyline of Beat and Melody felt like such a standalone that I had to pull back the idea. They weren't willing to share the page with anyone else. So that still doesn't really answer it.
No.
But maybe in the future.
Yeah, because that only just came out in October.
Yeah.
Give it time.
I definitely, I need to read more of Tessa Bailey's books, because there's the whole series, the Hot and Hammered series. That's the Fix Her Up ones.
Oh.
There's Fix Her Up, Love Her or Lose Her, and Tools of Engagement. Fix Her Up, I've seen a bajillion times.
I actually haven't seen that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I need to read more of hers. There was one that I read, and I think it might have been the first book that I read of Tessa Bailey's that I really didn't like. I maybe even DNF'd it.
Oh, what was that?
Let me just take a quick look down through. Yeah, I DNF'd it. I couldn't even finish it. Captivated. I guess I'm going to have to talk about that one for our year-end wrap-up, because that was this year, I think.
I've never even heard of it.
Oh, there's the one that I was thinking of. Mouth to Mouth. It was Beach Kingdom #1. I literally rated it 1 star.
Oof.
There's not very often I rate something a 1 star.
There's a lot of these that I've never even seen the cover to.
It really opens your eyes to see how many books an author puts out
before they blow up.
How many actually, yeah. Overall, I would definitely recommend it. Not necessarily as a Christmas novel, though.
Yeah, true. Anybody could read that now. Any time of the year, honestly, because it's only mentioned a handful of times.
Yeah. And it's just as the date, not even for Christmas traditions or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still a really good read. Nice and easy.
I think I'm going to keep it at 4. I don't think I would put it up to 4.5.
Okay, we need to start specifying 2 different ranking systems.
We'll work on that for the next video.
Yeah.
Next episode.
Yeah. Okay. I forgot to tell you. So I started it, haven't finished it yet, but I started reading Unhinged.
Oh my god, yes!
Because I was getting my hair done. And Ilsa was talking about it, and anyway, so when I had the dye in my hair, and she was like, okay, well, we gotta let you sit now for 25 minutes, and she was like, what better time than to start reading Unhinged? And I was like, you know what, you're right. So anyway, brought up the Kindle app on my phone. What the hell?
You have to finish it.
The hell? That's all I have to say. Just what the hell?
You have to finish it. Don't DNF it. It's short. Push through.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's...
Oh my god.
That's pretty well what was going through my head too, but...
Oh my god. I will finish it. I will finish it. I started, I was reading some more of it last night in bed, but I was just too tired to keep reading.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so our next episode is going to be the season finale.
Ow, ow!
We're going to be talking about just a recap of our year, all the goods, all the bads.
Yep.
And ranking our books. And probably talk a little about what we're going to be doing in the new year.
In our new season.
Maybe make up some changes for season 2, maybe.
May as well.
We'll see.
And we're going to be back together for recording this episode, so we're super excited.
Mm-hmm. As long as you don't get COVID.
Yeah. Well, hey, you guys are going to be immune at this point, so it doesn't even matter.
That's true. Yep. That's very true. So, yeah. Make sure to keep an eye on our Instagram for all of our shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
And rate and subscribe to our podcast on whatever platform you use. Because, again, that's what helps us get listeners.
Reach more people.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for listening. See you in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.